We're talking about jam boxes / ghetto blasters / boombox. Well, you probably never heard of it because you didn't grow up in the 80s.
No, I've heard of boom boxes. I've just never heard of them called jam boxes. Is that
like I said, you probably never heard jam box or boombox because you didn't grow up in the 80s.
I did hear boombox. In fact, I know people who owned boomboxes. It's more of a question of never heard the usage of the term jam box.
Well, back in the day, in like the beginning of skateboarding era, we called them jam boxes, and specifically the big giant Panasonic ones. The ones that were like unnaturally large to carry on your shoulder. But we did it because we were hard men with hard lives. No. No. I was not hard at 7 years old. I might have been. I don't forget. I don't remember. When's the first time you got an erection? Let's talk about that.
I'm not talking about.
I'm not talking about you specifically. Let's everybody in the chat that has a penis. We'll just limit it there. When's the first time you got an erection? Come on, let's have it out. I think my first erection was probably around 9 years old. That I remember. I don't remember when it was, but that's just when we're just generalizing. How do you not remember when you first got horny? Oh, wait. Okay, this is a really bad question.
Because I never do.
I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to assume things.
It doesn't mean you never get an erection. Erections are biological functions.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
Asexual people still get erections.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. What gives you an erection?
Internal combustion engines, apparently.
I don't fucking know. Random biology shit. Fuck, I don't know.
Sitting in the car with the right pattern of bumps. Come on, we all know it.
No idea what you're on about.
Leaning up against a unbalanced washing machine.
Wait, I thought that was a girl thing.
Have you ever heard of what was that line in Uncle Buck? She's like, "You ever heard of what?" No, it was The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, and she's Dan Aykroyd's wife is just like, "You ever heard of whiter whites?" It's like if I really want some attention, I just sit on the dryer with the spin, or I just sit on the washer with the spin cycle on. She's like, "Does that work?" And she's like, "You ever heard of whiter whites?" The invention of the vibrator was brought on by a desperate housewife who would sit on her laundry machines.
Actually, no. The vibrator was invented as a treatment for female hysteria in the 1880s by Joseph Mortimer Granville.
How do you make a vibrator in the 1800s?
They had electricity in the 1800s?
That's right, they did. But well, no, I suppose it is just a really small piston, or at least it used to be.
Yeah, and they used to plug them into the wall instead of them being battery operated because they didn't have batteries. But
no, it's not a piston. It's just a
they
direct
did
current.
have batteries.
But they hadn't. Yeah, but they hadn't done the whole moving magnet thing back then.
Oh yeah, they had batteries in the 1890s.
What an interesting innovation! Some
direct current motors for God knows how long.
Yeah, and they used to use them to treat female hysteria.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, it kind of does.